From the CyberHub bunker and studio, you're tuning in to the CyberHub Podcast. And now for your host and CISO, James Azar.
Good morning, security gang. Welcome to another exciting episode of the CyberHub Podcast. I hope everyone had a great Monday. Welcome to another exciting Tuesday for many security practitioners and humans on planet Earth. Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. We've got a packed show today. A lot around the VMware vulnerability we spoke about yesterday and a few weeks ago, but a whole lot more news around that. We'll also talk about the Outlook, Outage, LockBit, and Clop ransomware and TikTok. Yep, that's all on the agenda today. But before we get started on this morning's show, please make sure to subscribe and share this morning's podcast. You can find us on your favorite podcast listening platform or go to our YouTube channel, where we've got some really great exclusive content coming only for YouTube, by the way, only for YouTube. Some really cool things there as well. So go there and check it out. Now, I want to preface by saying that as security practitioners, we've got a lot going on. But my thoughts and prayers are with the people of Turkey and Syria after two devastating earthquakes. Thousands of people perished in there. The images are just gut-wrenching and heart-wrenching. So please make sure if you're feeling charitable to donate to a righteous cause like the Red Cross or the Red Crescent. Both are on the ground trying to help the victims of this devastating earthquake, 7.7 on the Richter scale, and then following subsequent buildings collapse. Just really, really terrible. So if you are feeling charitable this morning, or whenever you're listening to this, please go donate to either the Red Cross or the Red Crescent, and then make sure that they can take care of those folks that have lost everything. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and grab my double espresso this morning on a somber note, thinking of many of the thousands of people that have perished, and we'll say coffee cup cheers, y'all. We'll kick off our morning show here with thousands of computers being attacked across Europe and the US after the Ion attack over the weekend. So a 2-year-old VMWare security vulnerability has been taken advantage of since Friday of last week. More than 2,100 computers were infected over the weekend with a ransomware that exploited a 2-year-old vulnerability in the server software made by VMware, according to researchers and authorities. The infected machines represent a fraction of the more than 66,000 internet-connected computers that could be potentially targets. But nonetheless, cybersecurity agencies in France, Italy, Canada, and other countries published advisories over the weekend disclosing the attacks and urging organizations using the vulnerable software to fix it. It's the speed of the attack that's been really fascinating. Over 2,000 computers were compromised within 24 hours, according to authorities. Exactly which victims were breached is still remains kind of out there. The VMware vulnerability that they were using was the ESXi hypervisor vulnerability that was really fixed in 2021, but hasn't been patched by many of these organizations. And this kind of goes to the whole concept of, you've got a vulnerability, why aren't you patching it? CISA is also working on the private and public sectors to patch these systems, but at this point, you can't even look at VMware and shake your head. This has nothing to do with VMware and everything to do with these companies not patching their environments and not patching their systems. There's just no excuse why something takes 2 years. This feels like Equifax and Apache Struts all over again. So just extremely frustrating. VMware, for their part, say there's no evidence of a 0-day and an ongoing ESXiArgs ransomware spree. So VMware said yesterday that they found no evidence that threat actors are leveraging an unknown security flaw. They're essentially saying, hey, this is something we patched and issued a patch for back in 2021, and these companies didn't do it, so don't come looking at us. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. You guys know, yours truly here, I will hold someone's feet to the fire when they need to be held to the fire. But in VMware's case here, they've done everything right. They've reported this. The CV itself is CV 2021-219-74. Go back to 2021. Go back to the episodes of the show in 2021, we talked about this. We talked about this in a length. I looked it up this morning. I spoke about it for like 2-3 weeks straight on the show. It's something you've got to address. And the fact that there are thousands of machines that are still unpatched 2 years later shows you that we're trying to get the next shining, tool in our environment, but we're not patching the basics. And most data centers, most virtual machines run on this software. You're leaving yourself vulnerable, and there's no excuse. The CLOP ransomware. So in November 2021, 6 individuals were arrested as part of the CLOP operation. Again, go back, you can watch it on the show. But the ransomware really continued to be because, you arrested 6 people. You're not going to take down the organizations. These organizations run horizontal and vertical. And so if you take down one person, it doesn't mean another person won't, or someone else won't take what they've built as part of the ransomware group and then go out and do it. So CLOP was never really gone. They were kind of just, put on the back burner. Well, now there's a new version of CLOP targeting Linux systems, but the flaw in the encryption algorithms has already allowed for the creation of a free decryptor for it all. Sentinel once announced the discovery of the Linux variant, which was used in late December of 2022 in an attack against the University of Columbia. The left variant of CLOP has been developed in a similar logic to the Windows versions and appears to be in early stages of development, but their own software had a bug in it. That bug allowed for a decryptor key to make play, and so none of that is holding. The Python script for the decryption key is available on GitHub. All the links are in the show notes. If you know of someone who is a victim of the CLOP ransomware Linux variant, you can have them just go there and get the free decryptor. Microsoft Outlook outage, again, prevents users from sending and receiving emails. Microsoft is investigating and working on addressing an ongoing outage affecting the company's Outlook webmail service. Users are reporting issues sending, receiving, or searching email through Outlook.com. Some also report not being able to connect to Outlook.com, seeing a 500 error when trying to log in, or having their entire accounts wiped and not seeing emails even after connecting. According to information, the outage started at 6 a.m. UTC on Tuesday and is affecting customers in North America. It has spread out to other regions worldwide due to the affected infrastructure. Users in additional regions beyond North America may experience some residual impact due to the affected portions of infrastructure, according to Microsoft. They're continuing to perform targeted restart operations on the primary affected infrastructure in North America in order to restore the availability of the service. I just want y'all to comprehend what we're talking about here. Just one piece. Microsoft is restarting all of their devices that offer Office 365. They're just restarting it. Like, they call tech support, and tech support's like, have you restarted your computer? And they're like, no, we haven't. We should probably do that. We're working on restoring your environments by restarting our servers. God forgive me. It seems like every week we're talking about this. I'm mind boggled. I'm laughing. It's a tragic laugh. It's really not one designed of anything else. Last week, they were down for 5 hours with Microsoft 365 worldwide outage. Now the availability that used to be off of a cloud service, which was 99.9, has gone significantly down. I've seen reports of 98%. I've seen reports of 97%, meaning 2 to 3% of the time your system isn't working. Now, what does that mean to your business? What does that mean to your business continuity plan? I mean, there's got to be something better than this, and Microsoft should know better. If it appears like the Microsoft network's just piggybacked off of every single region, and there's no real segmentation, which is something they talk about in their zero trust architecture documentation that they share with the world. So either they're kind of out there preaching but not doing themselves, or there's some significant infrastructure challenges for Microsoft from an operational perspective that they really need to revisit, because these outages just can't keep happening. This is just wow. European police arrested 42 suspects and seized guns, drugs, and millions in cash after cracking another encrypted online messaging service used by criminals, according to Dutch law enforcement. They launched raids on 79 premises in Belgium, Germany, and the Netherlands following an investigation that started back in September of 2020 and led to the shutting down of the Covert Exclu messenger service. Exclu, which was kind of like an encrypted online chat service, which was unlocked by law enforcement in 2021. for a period of time. They've been monitoring all communication there. The police raid uncovered at least 2 drug labs, 1 cocaine processing facility, several kilograms of drugs, 4 million euros in cash, luxury goods, guns, according to Dutch police. It's been used by around 3,000 people, including around 750 Dutch speakers. Exclu was installed on smartphones with a license to operate, costing 800 euros for 6 months. So another good guys prevail there. The LockBit ransomware gang is claiming responsibility for the Royal Mail cyber attack that put the Royal Mail out of service several weeks ago. This comes after the LockBit support the ransomware gang public-facing representative told Bleeping Computer that they did not attack Royal Mail. Apparently now they did. The whole issue around the Royal Mail led to a whole bunch of parliamentary hearings in the UK. In fact, some of it entertaining with the CEO of the Royal Mail. But the attack that started last month is now being attributed to this group who are taking full responsibility for it, apparently. And finally, anti-TikTok legislation could be right around the corner. In what is a rarity nowadays, bipartisan support is building on both sides of the aisle in Congress to propose legal measures to ban TikTok from the US and drop it from every single app store. The push is largely based on concerns that the app, which is owned by ByteDance, poses national security and privacy risks based on the data TikTok is able to collect on user activities on and off the device. A recent bill introduced by Josh Hawley and Ken Buck last week would ban TikTok in the U.S. and a first of its kind to be introduced in Congress. There's a similar proposal by Senator Marco Rubio that was submitted last year. The big problem with TikTok is that it's a backdoor for the Chinese Communist Party into the personal data and personal lives of every American who uses it. That includes our children. Security experts have expressed similar concerns around the app, including yours truly here. There'd be no part of me that would be happier than to see TikTok being banned by Congress in the U.S. Nothing would make me happier, especially after given the balloon incident over the weekend and so forth. I think it's time to send a clear and cut message to the Chinese Communist Party and to the China leadership that it's just not going to fly anymore, and we got to change the level, the playing field. So TikTok, for its end in the U.S., has people trying to defend the company, but nonetheless, you guys can see all of this on the link. Now there is a this bill has been picking up steam. There's Democratic and Republican consensus around this legislation. The question is when this will come to the floor and how the ban will be instituted. All remain to be seen. That's it for our show this morning. Security Gang. We'll be back with a whole lot more tomorrow at 9 a.m. right here on LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Catch us there. Catch the latest also on our YouTube channel. Thank you all for tuning in. Please remember to subscribe and share. Have a great rest of your day. And most importantly, stay cyber safe, gang.
We love feedback, so make sure to connect with us on social media and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform.